future, I don't think. So we'll see what happens between now and.
They're going to let you teach them outside, Gary?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
From what I'm seeing, it kind of depends on the principal. I know my principal, she's all right if spaced out 6 feet apart and we're outside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, putting aside it's going to be hot as all get out. I mean, I don't know. It's something.
Yeah, I know. I know. I guess I'll have to ask and see what she comes up with.
Has
Let me do
anybody
it.
heard anything about schedules yet? Anybody know anything about what their schedule is going to be like?
Am I the only one that she's breaking up for?
No, she.
I couldn't hear her either.
She's breaking up with all of us. We didn't catch that, Alyssa? Whatever it was.
I think she asked about scheduling.
Keep going on stable internet message. I haven't got my schedule. I've asked for it a couple of times. Seems like they're still trying to figure it out, which I guess is pretty understandable.
Has anyone heard about scheduling yet?
I'm just trying not to get too
That's
far
what you
ahead of
want to do,
myself right now, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
even within the first 2 months, we're going to see a ton of changes.
Well, I got my junior high schedule, but not my middle school. So.
And Gary and I are at the same school,
Oh,
and he teaches band and I teach music. And yeah, we usually don't know what our schedule is going to be until right the day of. Pretty much, we never see a roster of the kids until the day of classes. Or the day before. So it's highly, rare that we see them earlier than that. So we usually don't see our schedule, but maybe a day or so before classes.
I mean, it's probably
what
going
we're
to
gonna be
change after
teaching.
that too. So it's like,
Right, exactly. And two, you don't know how many kids are going to do virtual, because even though they gave them a deadline of signing up by like the 31st or whatever, now that school's been delayed, they'll probably extend that, I'm sure. I don't know if y'all have heard about any extensions on that for them to sign up for virtual or not. I haven't seen any, but I'm sure there probably has been. But there'll probably still be some stragglers that sign up last minute.
well, we musicians, we know all about scraggling, right?
And changing things on the fly.
Improvise.
Oh, that's for sure.
Do a lot of that.
You can't handle change, you're in the wrong line of work.
Yeah. All right, your secrets are safe with me.
So one thing I was thinking about, I know we don't know a lot about schedules and all, but one thing I was thinking about was voice amplification, because with us wearing masks, with people, with the teachers wearing masks, and if we're going to be a CART teacher, that's going to be something we have to, we might, I just can't project sometimes over the air conditioner loud enough to be heard without my voice going out by the end of the week. So with the classes I teach, I teach about 39 to 41 classes a week. And so with that number of classes, it's easy for my voice to go out. So a few years ago, I bought me one of those chatterbox systems. I don't know if y'all, I knew $40 the other day on Amazon. I'm grabbing it with my right hand. I'm left-handed. Can you tell?
Right.
But I have this chatterbox system. I'll show it in the screen. And it fits. You wear it like with a waistband. You wear it with a waistband. And it has the band with it. And at the top, and it has the little controls at the top of it. I don't even know if you can see it. But if you want to look it up later, it's Chatterbox VOX. And I'll just show the name of it in the screen. I'll if I can show it there. There we go. And anyway, it also has a headpiece with it. And it kind of looks like those Britney Spears headpieces where it goes around and down by your mouth, reminds you of the old Britney Spears headpiece. But it has those, and then it also has one that comes up to the neck. And I just found one. They're usually, this one, when I bought it brand new, it was like $200. and I just bought it thinking this is going to save my voice and I need it. Well, I used it for probably about a year and the headpiece broke. Well, so anyway, now I looked on eBay and I found one last week for like $25 and like $10 shipping. So I got it and it's coming to me. So I'm getting a new one just so I can have something
What is
to
it
save
called?
my
I'm
voice.
sorry, Chatterbox?
It's called Chattervox, V as in Victor, VOX. And usually they're like 200, but on eBay, you know, I found one that's on eBay and it's coming to me. And I paid, like I said, I paid about $25 for it and I paid 10 shipping. So I got it for about the same price that you'd get. And they do have some, voice amplification little systems like that kind of come around to the neck, to the headpiece and stuff. And they're advertising them now because of so many people going back to school virtual and all that, you know, and, oh, it projects well for teachers and stuff, you know, trying to get the teachers to buy them. But but they have different brands and stuff on Amazon I've been seeing too. But I bought one last week on eBay just to help me out. But it has rechargeable batteries and I just needed a new adapter and a new headpiece. And the headpiece was going to cost me so much brand new. It'd be cheaper just to buy one on the one I saw on eBay was the best deal because the headpiece was going to be too much brand new. Also, sheet protectors, using sheet protectors and putting, y'all might already do this and put cardstock paper in them for the kids to do like lap desk and stuff. If you have any type of writing where they're doing dictation or where they're learning note names, that might be good. Or even if you just bought the regular plain paper, you know, and use the plain school copy paper if you didn't want to spend any money on the colored paper, and you buy sheet protectors. I found sheet protectors as cheap as 99 cents before at Walgreens. Last year I had my husband buy me a whole bunch. He went to Walgreens and helped me buy some around the corner. So I still had some left, but they usually do go on sale each year. And I check their new sales start every Sunday. But Ticonderoga pencils, I don't know if y'all like those Ticonderoga pencils and you use those in your classroom for yourself, but they have those on sale right now, a 10-pack for 99 cents at Walgreens. It was on their Sunday sale. And I just went to Walgreens today and had my daughter pick me up 4 more packs. So they're pretty nice to use. Another thing I've picked up for my cart, I have a cart. I have it here. I was just going to show it to you. Let me see if I can show it to y'all. It's an orange cart. I picked it up from Michael's. I got mine on sale. Michael's gives a good teacher discount. If you tell them that you're a teacher and you show them your school ID, I think it's like a 15% discount. Plus, they always have those little coupons that they have pretty often that you can use. Now, the carts, these kind of carts don't go on sale very often, but sometimes they'll let you use your teacher discount with it to get your cart a little cheaper. These are usually like $29.99. My school did mention that they may provide a cart, but they told me that if we have something that we can use to get us started, that might be a good idea. So I'm answering Alyssa's question because I saw that she was asking about a cart. They did say they were going to try to provide us all a cart.
Ask Hanson about that. I asked Hanson if she was going, you know, if they were going to provide anything, and she said that's up to your school.
Oh, wow.
So there's no help from there.
I'm going to tell you now, if you need a cart, I have an extra black, one of those CVR carts. I have one of those in my classroom. I have stuff sitting on it right now, but we can just take the stuff off of it and you can use that if you need to. Because like I use a wheelchair at school, and with me using a wheelchair, it's going to be a little difficult to get a cart from around the school. So chances are I'm going to probably end up putting my stuff in a book bag and using a book bag behind my wheelchair. So, but I just wanted to show y'all some things I picked up. Magnet strips. I bought these 97 cents a pack. I bought 2 packs. They would be good if you had a magnetic cart. And Gary, if you need me to bring my magnetic cart so you can use it, you're always welcome to use it. Pencil cups. I found a magnetic pencil cup that was pretty cheap. I think it was like $1.97 or something. They have these caddies. Dollar Tree is great about selling the caddies. I did find this one at Walmart, but usually I pick these up from Dollar Tree. And the Dollar Tree ones are pretty sturdy. They look like a shower caddy. I found this one for $1.94, but like I say, Dollar Tree, you can get them for $1. And they have them pretty often. And they're great for when I do observations. I put pencils, and the long end I can put folders and all that in them. So they do hold little small supplies and bigger supplies in them pretty well. I have a magnetic dry erase board and marker that I got from my classroom that was like $1.97, and it came with a little magnet, extra magnet with it. It's not very sturdy, so I was thinking I'm going to use those magnetic strips on the back of it, because it wasn't very sturdy when I tried to put it on the card when we got it. Another thing I'd be willing to ask is that if we're going to be CART teachers and going in the classrooms, you know, are they going to, I guess it's up to your school and each teacher, but are they going to be really okay with us using their supplies, like their projector or their smart board or their, you know, all of their supplies, you know?
I was told by my principal that I need to do as little as possible in terms of hands-on, because they're not going to be able to move around. So I can't bring in percussion instruments or anything like that. That I'll be working from each teacher's Promethean. Sorry, I'm still learning everything. So I have to log into each Promethean in each classroom and strictly focus on virtual teaching.
It might be a good thing, because I know that sometimes if you're on a different computer, my thought process just now, it takes a minute sometimes to like log onto a computer and for it to load everything. So my thought is, in our super long amount of days, that maybe I could go into those teachers' classrooms and just log in before school gets started, because sometimes it can take like 10 minutes to log onto a computer for the first time, just so it can get your name in there, if they're going to allow you to use something like their smartboard or their Promethean. So I'm just thinking through that for myself. Might be a good idea.
Yeah, I love what Alyssa just said. You can share your virtual classroom with those teachers so that they can like have that up and ready when you come in.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know how to do all that.
I don't
Neither
either.
do I. You mind elaborating just a little bit?
I can try to talk. I don't know how well my internet's gonna work, but so if it's okay, I can send it out in an email too, and how to share the files. But anything you create in Google Classroom or in your Google Drive, you can share that with any teacher in the St. Tammany Parish network. So there's an option when you have the file open in your Google account where you can go in and add any St. Tammany Parish teacher's email address, and it'll share that file to their Google Drive. So that way you won't even have to log on to your account at all. It'll already be in their file, so they can just pull it up for you. But I can send out step by step on how to share those files if you need that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that way you
that'd
can
be
just
awesome.
bypass the logging on thing.
Oh, that's a good idea. Very good.
And that might help me in my situation too, because some of my teachers have Promethean, some of my teachers have Epson.
Yep.
But if it's all on Google Drive, it should all work, right?
It should.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the theory.
And two, I know, like with our school, they were, they were saying, not to have them come to the student services unless it's, an emergency and things like that. And so I went ahead and picked up Band-Aids, but I'm not sure if that's going to be something we're going to need to keep on us, or the teacher's going to have in their classroom, or what.
Tell you where it is.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking outside the box a little bit, because I know they don't really want us go into student services and, oh, I have a bobo, I need a Band-Aid, and you know how that, Gary, you know how that goes, Oh, goodness. But yeah, so that's something else just out of the box I was keeping on my cart, thinking about keeping up on the cart. But yeah, and like magnetic stuff, like the little let me get them. I have some little clips that bull clips that I got. Just thinking, I used these on my portable last year just to hold stuff outside my portable when the wind would be blowing, and they worked wonderfully, and they're cheap. They're like I think I paid like $1.40 for them at Walmart, but they come in a pack of 4, and they're these little magnetic clips, and they're sturdy. And so just something cheap, thinking of things we might need to hold, posters or whatever when we're going into classrooms. But anyway, yeah, I tried not to buy a ton of stuff. I just tried to buy things that I thought since we're going to be portable, most likely,
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I bought, you were talking about sheet protectors. They're a little more expensive, but there are these ones where they have, I typically put my classrooms in groups, color groups as soon as they get there, and then they have jobs, but I don't think I'll be doing that this year, clearly. But anyway, they have colors on the edge, and they're thicker sheet protectors, and they hang, and so I'll put stuff in there, and then they can write on them with the markers, the dry erase markers, because they're a little thicker and they erase. They get dingy and they get dirty, but it works for the most part. And I figured that would make me sanitize them or whatever. Anyway, and so I like those for class to class. And then I have like the magnetic squares that I bought in like big huge pack, and I'm thinking of like laminating everything and putting the magnetic on it, so laminate, especially for little hands, so that they can have something that they're touching, but I can sanitize them in between classes. As far as like, I don't know, if we can't sing it, we can move or something, I don't know. But as far as materials are concerned, I like some of your ideas.
I had asked my principal if I can get one of those, I don't know what it's called, but it has like 4 fingers, 5 fingers, so you can draw a staff across the dry erase board. And they're like, yeah, our teachers don't have those. I'm like, you mean the fingers? She says, no, dry erase boards, we don't use those. I was like, oh, huh. How am I gonna do this? She's like, try to do everything Promethean. Like, okay. So I went on Amazon and I bought this dry erase staff. It's pretty big though, it's about 4 feet long. So I'm trying to figure out, I haven't seen the inside of classrooms yet, so I don't really know how I'm gonna be able to hang this on the wall, but I wanna be able to at least draw in front of people, because I don't know if we have access to any programs like Sibelius or Noteflight where I can actually plug in notes and talk about them. It'd be so much easier for me to just draw it. So
yeah, you might be able to get some of those magnetic clips, because most of our boards are magnetic, but if yours aren't even marker, I'm not sure.
We don't have boards, that's the thing.
Thick. I don't know.
Are Promethean boards magnetic?
Are we allowed to touch those?
Well, mine is, because mine's a board. I have an Epson.
Well, my Epson board is magnetic. The whiteboard that I have with my Epson, it is magnetic. Now, that's a good thing to check.
You're not supposed to draw or anything on it.
Yeah, but you can usually get away with a clip. Also, if you're using a magnetic cart, a metal cart, you can clip go old school chart paper to it. You can get
throw it on the chalkboard
that way.
If you got to,
Yeah, and I want to talk about this too. I want to show y'all this. This has been my lifesaver. This is a laminator. I paid $22 for it at Walmart. It laminates 9 by 11.
That's nice.
But that's as big as it goes.
Yeah.
But still.
So, and most of the stuff that I use is small anyway. It's perfect. And I've had mine 2 years now. So, they last a long time.
Oh, that's good.
I bought a bunch of posters on Amazon, like Tempo, Dynamic, Chords, Circle of Fifths, all that kind of stuff. And they're pretty good size, but they're too big for my laminator. I'm gonna have to.
Have you used the laminator at school?
We have one?
Yeah, in the teacher workroom at Tchefuncte, it's huge. Like I did entire posters. So
really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb. I've already spent way too much money. My the music room closet, y'all. I love you, Caleb. I just met you, but I love you. The hand percussion instruments were all over the place, right? And you weren't there last year, so I know it wasn't you. But y'all, I spent way too much money at Dollar Tree and got so many different sized baskets for finger cymbals and maracas and glockenspiels. There's probably about 40 different small baskets in there for all the different mallets and everything. And then all the costumes from all the pageants. I went in Big Lots and bought airtight containers so that the silverfish will get out of them from the cardboard boxes they were being held in. Oh, I encountered way too many silverfish in there. But yeah, so trying to save as much money as possible at this point because that classroom has been redone with a lot of containers.
Go
So
on
thank you,
Amazon.
Caleb. I super appreciate that.
Go on Amazon, make a wish list, post it on your Facebook.
I'm sorry?
Go on Amazon, make a wish list that you can share publicly and post it on your Facebook.
Huh. That's a good idea. And, you know, I just became a PTA member today, so they're only going to reimburse me $150. Again, spent way more than that just to try to get everything all together for this upcoming year.
Also,
Don't judge
Jana,
me. I'm new. Huh?
in case you don't know, that PTA reimbursement is in addition to the reimbursement that your school also will do for you.
Ooh, that's nice
So
for
I'm
you.
just learning about this reimbursement.
Yeah,
from
like I
Alyssa
didn't
here.
learn
I didn't
about
know
it
that the
until my
schools do
third year.
reimbursement.
Lucky
Yeah.
you. That's awesome.
Well, I have all my receipts, trust me. Either my husband like
Also-
gave me a tax write-off.
Yeah, you can also write request letters to anybody, I do.
Yeah.
Dear such and such, whatever business, my school is in need of.
Also, you
Okay.
should have some money in the choir fund.
Hopefully we'll have money in the choir fund this year because we're not doing choir. So that can be used towards supplies as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I found all those fantastic little dry erase boards, like 100 of them. But I mean,
Yeah.
how am I going to be able to sanitize and run from room to room,
Right.
2 stories? And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'm trying to make everything as virtual as possible. That was school, I can't do homework. I said, okay, what about virtual readings? Can they watch videos and then come back in the classroom and discuss? Oh yeah, you can do that. Okay, cool. We're getting somewhere. So going between like Kennedy Center, Arts Edge. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Arts Edge. So sorry, I'm again new teacher. I'm sure y'all are familiar with all of this stuff. But Teach Rock is a pretty cool website. So I'm trying to like find things that I can assign easy things for them to watch. And then when we're in the classroom, let's discuss what we learned. Everything from like culturalism and social to things from musictheory.net for all of us to work on together. But any other virtual advice you guys can give? Any websites you really, really love? Any fun games that you really, really love?
Can we like type it in the chat so that we can kind of look over what we're sharing as far as virtual?
Totally.
And well, maybe we could say it too, but just like type out. I know Music Tech Teacher is one that I've used for years, but I think it's blocked. But I heard that you could ask the school board to release it. The only thing about Google, though, Chromebooks is they don't have Flash, and most of those are ran by Flash. So anyway.
So who's got their lesson plans already set? Who can give us some really good ideas?
I don't have specific lesson plans, but like, and I'm not teaching right now. I'm in grad school full time, but I have thought a lot about this, especially like since everybody is supposed to be on a cart going classroom to classroom. I thought about my first year teaching. 1 day a week I was at a school that I didn't have a classroom in, and I had to go class to class to teach. Of course, we were allowed to sing then, which is a whole different game, but things that you can do portably, like I didn't even have a cart. I didn't have a cart at all, or a room. So I just went and everything was super portable. I, every single week, did a little bit, this is for upper elementary, listening and journaling. So they would know, the teachers would know every single week, okay, Mr. Porter's coming to class, everyone take out a sheet of paper to be prepared to journal. And we would listen to a recording of something and they would journal about it, like, how does this make you feel? What instruments do you hear? You can do guided questions that you want them to specifically listen to while the music is playing, and then you can have everyone share with the class. That's super easy. Dictation is totally possible. Of course, you can't sing the things, but you can yourself play things on instruments. high-low comparisons. You can play higher pitches, lower pitches, and they can identify those, not sing them back to you, but they can listen. And then body percussion is something that you can totally do now, and that's participatory. I always started my year with a fun game where I would do body percussion things in groups of 4, and they would repeat after me. And then as they were repeating, then I would add on stuff. And so they had to be doing and listening at the same time. And it gets really fun, and they get really competitive, and you turn it into a game and see who can last the longest without making a mistake. So that's something I feel like I would totally do if I was in your situation. Again, anything that can get them physically doing something. Unfortunately, singing is not one of those things that's possible right now.
So how is it any different to have them talking, repeating things as it is to have them singing?
Body percussion as in?
Right. Yeah.
No
I
air
don't know
movement.
about y'all,
Yeah.
but is humming not allowed? I don't know. It's a line that I'm not sure about.
I guess if your mouth is closed, the whole issue with singing is the aerosol spraying out. So
So I'm thinking about like humming, not long, amounts of humming. We're not going to hum a whole song or anything like that. But especially like with my youngers, I thought about like, I saw this document on like what are things that like you can't do and what are things that you can do, and humming was one of them as far as music. Also your hand signs, like solfege hand signs, as far as like teaching that. Something that I've done with my younger kids is Pitch Hill, where they learn about the solfege. And they all have a story, they have a song, and they have identification and things like that. So that might be something that I still continue to do with my students, and maybe just have them like hum the song because it's really short. Something else is music listening maps for my younger kids, or even if we can hum, I'm going to get clarification on that. But if we can hum, then like vocal exercises with humming, things that are short, you know what I mean? Not like whole songs. For things that are longer, some ideas that I've gotten from my younger kids are like movement songs, where I can like play the song. You're not singing it, but you're hearing it, you're moving. Sign language songs, I feel like might be a really good idea for younger students. And then again, of course, like small notation type things that I can laminate, that can be easily just wiped. So, and then also, of course, like melodic dictation, sight reading. So I'll be teaching general classes and static groups that would be choir. So as much as they probably won't want to do it, we'll do some type of competition and do sight reading, that kind of stuff. I'm going to try to do bucket drumming at some point with my older kids. We have the buckets. We had them donated a long time ago. I have enough sticks that I can sanitize in between classes. I'm literally just throwing out random ideas that I've kind of like put in my bucket, and then I'm going to curriculum out. I have no idea, or things that I'm going to put to the side for phase 3. Like, we can sing now. Okay, so, but also a thing that I've done with my general classes for 5th and 6th grade is something called Music Lab. I actually purchased it off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and basically there are different categories, like music theory, history, just there are different categories. And they have these cards, and they each have a question on them. If it's a computer game, it has a website that you can go to. It might have a QR code if you can use the iPad. And it has different activities that the students can choose to do. So my rule in my class was you have to do at least one card in the class a day, and you have to stay busy. So, which I might change up the rules now that we're in a different setting. But they're all computer-based and virtual. Not all of them are. I would do piano as some of them, or you just always have to answer the question on the card. And so there's it's called Music Lab. And so since I already they don't all always work and things like that, so I'll definitely have to go through them. But I feel like that's going to be something I can definitely take out. And it wasn't cheap. It was pretty expensive, but I had to find something to do with them. And I feel like it's really going to last for this. So I feel like that's also a really good idea for early finishers of maybe some individual activities you're doing. They can pick a music lab card, might be something fun they can do if it goes to a game or if it whatever. And so I also like seriously want to figure out how to do some kind of Hamilton rap battle with phrasing and things like that. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but that's going to be a thing. And then of course composition and stuff like that. So that's literally just like all these ideas that I have no idea what I'm doing with yet, but I feel like it's finally getting my brain ticking of like, what are some things I can do, you know, with my classes. So anyway.
And let me echo what Rebecca and Alyssa said. Dale Duncan's stuff is absolutely awesome. And I'm thinking now, forbidden pattern with humming. I feel like that could totally work. That's so cool. Yeah. So if you don't know Dale Duncan, look him up. He has lots of YouTube videos, and it's amazing.
I've talked to him before. He's a nice guy too. Yeah. Really nice.
Are any of y'all collaborating with your band teachers? Because if they're not teaching band, are they going to be touching on theory and composition and harmony and kind of the same things that we're doing? Like, do they kind of know what they're doing if they're not teaching band? Are they doing general music too? Like what?
I am still working on this.
Oh, Gary and I work together, so I guess you could say we're collaborating now.
Yeah,
we've been collaborating.
With Rebecca. My guess is we're probably gonna. I'm hoping to be able to do both. You know, music theory, music, that kind of thing, and be able to take some of the kids out for band. I mean, I've talked to different doctors about what we should be doing. One is we need to wear a mask and we need to have a shield when we're indoors. You know, but even the doctors don't agree with each other because I've talked to two of them. Both of them have different ideas. I mean, as far as someone's got a dog. As far as playing a trumpet, I mean, you got to go through all this tubing before it even comes out the bell. So, yeah.
You and John
is not.
You and John can get together at the end.
But what is this about? This is band, of course.
No, this is middle school general music.
Middle school. Okay, all right.
TV Montana.
But anyway, you know, I talked to a doctor that is a brass player. He said the same thing. You know, it goes through all this tubing. Only difference is to watch out for is emptying your spit valve. You know?
I mean, whatever's coming out the end of the horn is not what's coming straight out of their mouth. That's just the metal vibrating at that point.
I know, you're right.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's just whatever. Some politicians.
They're still canceling band, aren't they?
Okay, band.
Let's go back to, yeah, let's go back to the idea of talking. Rebecca had a great idea about the microphone. I don't know if we can cut a slit in our mask or put the microphone underneath the mask. Are you going to be wearing it in class, Rebecca?
That's the plan. I plan to just put it in front of my mask and try it. And then if it doesn't work, try to go put it inside my mask. I had a lady, my brother had mask made for me for school, and he's a bachelor, so he likes to help me out sometimes. And so he had a music teacher mask made for me, a little music themed mask. But yeah, so I'm hoping that I can wear it over my mask and be heard, but if not, I'll have to wear it underneath. But yeah, my question, one thing I was thinking about was doing Lumi sticks. Now I realized we'd have to sanitize them in between uses.
Yeah.
I think we have sets. So we could probably because there's also for those of y'all who don't know, there's also another music teacher. Gary teaches band, I teach music, and there's also another music teacher as well, all at our school. So there's actually 3 of us full time. But anyway, so I think we have about 90 sets. And if need be, I'm sure we could probably try to order some extra for when something breaks, as it probably will. One person on one of the music teacher sites was saying ordering plastic ones just because they can be cleaned easier than the wood. I'm not really sure what the answer is to that. We have money in the budget to be able to get anything we need to. We don't have a set budget. I know a lot of y'all face the same thing we go through with that. We don't have a set budget for middle school, but we do, every year we do a fundraiser. For years, we've done Singing Valentines. And I don't know that we'll be doing it this year, but we did in past years, we did Singing Valentines, and that helped raise a lot of money to get us a budget. So we had planned on saving enough money up to buy risers. But for those of you who don't know, hopefully in a couple more years, Gary, well, I don't know how Gary's class is going to be set up, but my class and Terry Burt, she's the other music teacher, we're supposed to be getting new classrooms. We've been in portables. Those portables have existed for a long time. Some people are telling me on the upwards of 30 years. So they're actually building a new wing. There was a, what was it called?
A grant of some sort or whatever, up for money.
What was it? Something passed. Anyway, I forgot what it was called. Anyway, some kind of budget passed a couple of years ago, and it was for like security and to help get the Chromebooks and all that. Well, as part of that, there was a part of that helped for Little Oak to get a new building built. And so all the 6th grade teachers and all that could, millage renewal. That's it. Thank you, Alyssa.
Yeah,
and rededication. And so yeah, so that's what we so that's what we're getting done. We're getting a new building hopefully, and it's going to be 2 stories. And I was quick to ask them. I said, well, what's that going to mean? Am I going to be hiking it up you know, it's going to be interesting seeing how my wheelchair goes up the stairs.
What
they
about,
said they're going to have, supposedly it's supposed to have an elevator, and I'm going to be on the 1st floor. So that should work out pretty well. But
what are some other ideas? What are some other ideas for these lesson plans?
Okay.
I did want to also mention, I think Paula Vickers said it, that she was told that you're not allowed to use instruments because there's no way to really sanitize them between uses to guarantee that they're safe. I don't know if that was a principal thing or if that was a district thing. So just.
My principal said yes. And she contacted Rosalind about singing and stuff like that. So, but I don't think she asked her about the instruments. She just said yes. Well, she's not a principal, but whatever. I just got
about recorders or what kind of instruments? Recorders?
Like even handheld instruments like rhythm
like
sticks and sand blocks.
Or Lumi sticks or anything like that. That's what Caleb is talking about. Caleb's saying that Paula was saying that there might be a rule about that. I might not know. I mean, because our principal usually finds out things and she kind of passes it on to us. So maybe she knows and she just hasn't told us yet. Yeah. So that may be something, Gary, that we need to be asking, because I don't want to get in trouble and get my hand slapped later.
Yeah, I would hate to order like 100 sets of something and then not be able to use them. So
I've been reading a lot about these Facebook teachers that are making individual bags.
I saw that.
Like taking the pool noodles and making them into sand blocks, and everybody having their own whatever. But I mean, like I teach 300 and something children.
Right.
And I can't imagine
like
having a bag for every kid of 300.
Right.
Yeah.
My class last year was 400 and something. So yeah, I couldn't imagine. It was almost 500. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine when I saw that, I was like, boy, they must not have many kids at that school. Because I couldn't imagine that. You'd be going broke.
What I was kind of thinking about with, if I wanted to do charts or anything that I wanted to hand out for the kids, to have, like, I don't have a heavy load of middle school because I'm junior high as well. So I might have 3 middle school classes. And if I color code each one and laminate each one, then I'll pass out the green ones to class 1, blue ones to class 2, orange ones to class 3. And then when I get back in the afternoon, I can sanitize them all and start again.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm just deciding to kind of we talk to our teachers because we have our principals because we have 40-minute blocks, and we've asked them if it's possible, because typically classes are coming to us and they didn't put in time for us to transfer because we have to go to the different classes now. And so we asked them if it was possible to make it 30 minutes so that we could
have 10
transfer and clean. I don't even know if that's going to happen, but even if not, even if I just go straight to the class and it's whatever, however many minutes it takes me to get to that class, like that might be a part of my routine, is that I sanitize as I pass, because I mean, I would rather use the materials. I don't know. I don't have a lot of money to create new materials. Like I will create what I have and then use them, you know. But if I make sure I'm laminating them, or if we can sanitize the instruments, even if it's like Lysol and wiping or something like that, you know, to make sure that it's aerosol, so it's kind of getting it all. It might have to be a new procedure, you know.
Be nice if they had some kind of squirt spray where you could like have your bucket of drumsticks, squirt, stir up the drumsticks and squirt again, you know.
You know, right?
That is true. That's true.
Sorry, I unmuted and muted. I like to do a lot of games in my classes, and so I have a lot of board games that I have 4 sets of or whatever that I use for music. And so, you know, my thought is to kind of like, and some of those are printed myself, to create a class set of those and then make it a competition. So even if they're not playing against each other, like, you know, windy boards where you put the thing, oh, whoever gets to this first, you know, type thing, because I just think the competition is fun. Like that's what I love about being able to do that in my class. And so like I buy like the little game pieces on Amazon and use those, and if I can sanitize them with aerosol, I'm gonna make that happen. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I know that a lot of you guys have those types of things in your classrooms too. Just trying to think about making it more duplicatable.
Is there, I guess, could maybe Alyssa or even Caleb, who's not teaching, can we maybe send our ideas to one central location and then email it to everybody?
All right.
Okay, Caleb, what you think?
Well,
Alyssa is responding, I think.
Did you hear what I said?
That you can start a Google Doc on her personal Google account and share it with everyone.
That's smart.
Cool.
Even if we just had an email also, you know, I don't mind like putting it that way so it doesn't cloud up your Google Drive, Alyssa. We could share on there, maybe.
As Carrie was talking, I was thinking about something, because we use, we use a lot of games in my class too. How feasible you think it would be to get a image of a game board that we could project onto the screen? So theoretically, kids could possibly still, like in groups, play a game. Is that, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's definitely, I guess, possible for certain ones. Like there are ones that I've bought. Sorry, me and Teacher Pay Teachers are friends. Like there are ones that I bought that you print. And so my thought is I already put them on cardstock and laminate them so that they last longer, because they're just like paper, you know, making it more like a game board. So my thought is I'm going to make a class set of those. And typically the cards you would like go turn on turn, but instead of like creating separate turns with certain games, not all of this will count, that I could just tell them, hey, you have to get to the certain point and you win. You know what I mean? And so they flip the cards themselves and then they have to like get the answer right. I mean, I'll have to monitor them more and some of them will cheat, but you know, I'll get them. But what else was I thinking?
A lot of cleaning.
It is a lot of cleaning. But that has to be a part of the procedure, because I can't just like, we can't do body percussion all semester. It is a lot of cleaning. It's just gotta be part of it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just thinking myself personally. I like to be clean and all, but I can't see myself keeping up with, in between 2 periods, like 30 plus different objects. And that's if I only have one object, you know? So I'm thinking, all right, what would be a practical way where it could still be fun, we could still do some of those things, but I'm not eating up like 10 minutes of class period time just trying to get everything started, you know? So I don't know. Usually there's some like ways you can like dumb down games and like, you know, cut out the fat, you know, like, do you really need like an icon, or, you know, is there like some virtual icon I could just like put up there? You're not no one's picking stuff out. You're not having to sanitize anything. So I don't know. That's the stuff going through my head, because I think like if we can find a way to make some of that stuff actually doable virtual without having to like sanitize, like bleach a whole game, you know, in between classes, I think it's possible. But I haven't had to think about it enough. I was curious if anyone else had like, I don't know, some tech hacks they wanted to throw out there.
Well, if you've come up with a way, let us know. For sure.
I mean, I know about like stickers and stuff like that. I mean, but it's still, you'd have to sanitize the whatever the barcode is on, you know, or if they have clickers and things like that, you still have to sanitize that. But the game board might be a good idea, and you can work around that. Like if you had something like that, just for it's one less thing. Oh, I sanitize the cards, but I don't know. Or we do the cards together, and then you count how many you get right, or something like that, you know. I guess there's a way to reimagine it.
Aren't there games, is it on? Aren't there games on Chromebook that are music related that they can use their Chromebooks?
Yes, but I haven't messed with it, but I have heard there are, yeah.
It might be an easy way to deal with all the sanitizing and stuff if they can use their own.
Or maybe you could put the board like on the Google Classroom.
It's something to look into for sure.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were at that presentation. It was sometime this last school year, I think at Magnolia Trace. But Nathan Mumphrey, a couple of people were doing presentations. Nathan Mumphrey, he was one of them. And he did this presentation. It was basically Jeopardy, but it was related to music. You know, you could have a quarter note up there, or what a lot of times would happen is you would have like a whole slew of notes, and they had to come up with the sum total of what that would be, right?
That's a good game.
I thought it was really good, and you know, the kids don't have to touch anything. They just have to think, and they got to be pretty sharp with their music theory. So I don't know if you guys got all that from him. I made sure he emailed me all the junk, and we used it in our class, and the kids loved it. And I'm just thinking that's something that's easily transferable. You really don't have to do anything with it, and it works. So if you guys haven't gotten that information from Nathan, I highly recommend it, because you don't have to sit there and write it yourself. Someone already did it. You know, it's just ready to be.
Do you still have that? Could you put that in the email or whatever we end up doing?
Right, yeah.
I can't even remember how I downloaded it. I know he shared it with me. I'm going to try to see if I can remember it and get that info for you. If not, I'll just have to contact Nathan, see if he can share that with us.
Yeah, there's a good chance I may have it on my computer at school too. I've not used it, but I don't ever delete anything.
Yeah, I know. But the kids really liked it. Like they were totally about that game, and like they were actually learning their theory. And so for like what we're going through right now, it kind of checks off all the boxes. You know, there's no shared equipment. You're teaching music. It is a game, and it's one that I already know that they like to do. They know how to play it. So that one I'm definitely going to be.
I would love to get a copy of that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to look into it. I did it like a year ago. I can't remember how.
I'm looking at my school email as you're talking, and I thought I had asked him to send it to me, but I don't have it. I'm looking at my school email and don't see it. But I see stuff about the program.
John,
I'm sorry?
Is that a website, or is that an app, or
Nathan did
It's
something.
a game.
I want to say the way how I got it was the actual file, I want to say he put it on Drive, and I downloaded it because he wrote it like in Promethean. And then the next problem I had is because I'm a music teacher, I don't know about you guys, but I've never had a Promethean board in my room. So I had to download the Promethean software, and he gave me whatever type of password I needed. Anyway, so he gave me that, and I was able to then just get the software. I wasn't able to do the interactive stuff that you can do with the Promethean board, but just having the software to where they could see it up there, they could pick a square, and you know, it was interactive enough to be fun in our class. You know, it worked fine.
If we download this stuff onto Google Classroom, is it still going to be interactive? Does anybody know?
If you're, at least for this game in question, if you're in a room that has a Promethean board and you're able to get this file up there, yeah, it should work just fine.
I'm Epson, and I don't know how many of my school are.
Oh.
So it's kind
I'm
of.
Epson too. It's the same software. It's just smart board software. It either goes on the Promethean or to be interactive, or it goes on the Epson to be interactive. It doesn't really matter.
And it'll still work through Google Classroom
I have no idea.
or Google Drive.
We're gonna try it.
I don't know.
At the end of the year, well, during the hiatus, my student teacher and I did a lot of world music. And there's a lot of really great videos on YouTube for different countries. And if, you know, you want to go into that direction where you could study the different musics of the different types in different countries.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. 1 year for kind of like my middle ages, I did world music 1 a month, but and I created a passport for them so they could like put different things on it, and each place you went to, and they would like color in where it was in the world and stuff like that, and then just printed out each of them a booklet. It wasn't that much paper. It worked.
That's super cool. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Send us a copy of that. Your little passport.
One year I did music Olympics with the kids. Now, I know you were talking about maybe making things into a game for them. And there are a lot of, I have a book in my file cabinet. I need to find it. But it was actually on Music Olympics. And it was a reproducible book that I bought, I guess, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember, though, 1 year we did Music Olympics, and the kids really got into it. They really liked finding out information. They would, for bonus points for their country, they would bring me information about a composer from that country, or they would bring me information about a current musician from that country. And they really got into it. They were like, "Hey, can you look this video up?" And I was like, "Well, I better look at it first before we talk about showing it to the class here." You know? So that would be really cool. Since we can't use instruments a lot right now, that would be a neat way to kind of get them really pumped up about music, you know, going, just thinking outside the box about the world music view of things. You know, that would be really kind of a neat thing.
I like that idea, Alyssa. Like kind of, since we're so in this, the kids aren't going to really be around any other classes, like kind of creating that competition within the grades, you know, I think would be really fun. I mean, I have other music teachers who teach other like 4th grade classes and stuff like that. But I think it's really fun. I think it'll be something where they can kind of like glimpse into each other and be competitive. I like that idea. We'll figure it out.
One of the other things I thought about doing was looking at what part of history each of the grade levels study, and to do composers from that particular part of history. So it's, you know, lending a hand with that social studies, cross-curricular stuff.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah.
That is neat.
And I also like have thought about doing this, and I think that would work really well with the journaling thing that you've done, Caleb. It's just like having a fun video that the kids are that are like they can watch, like a bunch of different people who do like classroom music instruments, like Walk Off the Earth, or there's another like college group that does it or whatever, and just showing that like within other pieces that are super fun to get kids interested in random instruments that they could use. And then also, like for me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking about building in dance breaks into my classes, like a code word or something like that, where like whenever they hear that code word, they have to get up and do like the Cupid shuffle or something. Like I got to break up my class a little bit and get them moving in their desks, you know. Not that that'll be like a huge part of my class at necessarily the end, but just like in the middle of class, like they don't know when to anticipate it, so that it'll kind of bring the fun in when we're just kind of like stuck in our space. Do it in your space, you know. And so
They're gonna need something.
Yeah.
Pam, you'd mentioned something about world music, like some like online resource. Was that correct when I heard you?
Okay, what we did was we just looked at different countries. I can send you what I had from, I can make that shareable to you.
Okay.
from what I had over the summer. But just like, you know, the gamelan instruments, they're really cool. And you just go look and see what's out there. You can just type in world music in YouTube and a bunch of stuff come up. Now, not everything on YouTube will transfer. A lot of stuff is blocked, so you just have to go through and find the ones that aren't going to be blocked.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
There's also another musical resource that I'm going to look it up real quick, but Ryan Albus, who was at my school last year, it's kind of like a checkout system where they have this online curriculum. Let me look at the name of it real quick and I'll send it to you, but you like kind of like check it out and use it. And as long as you give them feedback, it's all online and virtual. I only really did one last year, but it was really great. And I think I could probably, or we could all explore that resource again. So let me look at the name of it and I'll put it in the chat.
To share.
Yeah, my chat bar needs to have bigger font.
I know in band I found, I mean, again, going back to band, I use the method book called Stands of Excellence. And I was able to find something online using that where the kids can play along, you know, with the music. Usually the method books comes with CDs and things, but this has that. But in addition, it's got a whole bunch of other things like music theory and all on this this website. It's from Canada, of all places.
John, I'll get him to email that to you. That information.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm planning to try and use that if I can. I mean, if I could see the kids, you know, to have them pull them out. I know we're doing push-ins, but I'm hoping we can do pull-out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, basically what the plan is for us right now, I know, you know, we've got that rotunda at the front of the campus. So basically I'm going to try to, I've got it spaced out there. We can fit enough people 6 feet apart under that. So if there's inclement weather, it'll help shade us too from the sun.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So that's what we're going to do. It's not going to be as comfortable, of course, as a class, but I think it's a better, you know, compromise than not having anything. And I'm just glad they're going to let me do it, at least for now. I don't know. Some parent complains real hard. Who knows what'll happen? But
we have a real nice pavilion at Little Oak with benches and everything. And I know we're going to have to, me and Rebecca and Terry, we're all going to have to share spaces if we do go outside. If it's not raining, Rebecca, there's that those bleachers, you know, in the middle, the basketball courts there, those bleachers. I was thinking maybe you could even set it up like risers, you know, and have them get on the different levels and sing 6 feet apart, of course. And I don't know.
Has anybody heard specifically that we can sing outside?
No.
Okay, well, I know Rosalind sent that thing out like last week. It's like page 14 of it. I'm trying to remember. I know we got to be 6 feet apart. I know at least until we get to phase 3, we can't be indoors. But I want to say it specifically said outdoor music, like whether it be band or choir.
Choir. I thought it was going to be.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to pull it up right now.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be allowed in phase 2.
Which I'm pretty sure it's what
Rebecca, did you hear anything from the administrations about any of that?
Okay.
Maybe that's also a very specific question we need to ask Hanson and get from that.
I'm working with 2 phones here,
What
people.
was
I actually have my school email on my other phone. It says, it basically tells us to look at the guidelines addressed on page 14. It mentions about the push-in classes. It says there will still be options to have pullouts with consideration to available space.
Yeah.
Gym outside, and ensuring all safety protocols are followed. That came from Hanson. The principal will determine the best scenarios for enrichment courses that will serve their students and staff in a safe manner. And that's basically, she basically just told you to look at the pages. And here's the guidelines on page 14 for choir and band. I'm pulling those up now. Working from 2 phones.
And I guess that kind of answers my question too, which is at what point do we get to go back to our classrooms?
Right.
I guess that's really kind of up to our schools.
Well, I think it's phase 3 is kind of the idea that life goes back to normal in phase 3.
I don't know about that as far as us being, they're still going to be in their static groups even though we can sing. So I'm not really sure if that particularly means that we'll be back in our classrooms at that point.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So.
I don't think they're sure.
I think Alyssa said this, but from what I understand and from what was said in the high school meeting, until we're in phase 3, there is no singing, period, regardless of whether you're inside or outside.
Anyway, now where did you get that from?
That's what was said in the high school meeting on Friday.
Oh,
And that's what Rosalind said whenever my or whoever from my school emailed her about it. Like, no singing.
Right. Like there was a rumor that a high school teacher was going to try and do singing in like super isolated cases, and Rosalind went after them and said, no, absolutely no singing. So.
Huh.
Well, see, I think that's the confusion with all this too, is like a lot of people are getting mixed messages. I'm still trying to pull up the thing that Rosalind sent us out so we could kind of like.
Okay, I'm looking at the Tammany Parish guidelines right now, y'all, on page 17. And it says here, I'm quoting what it says here, band, music, and choir in phases 1 and 2. There will be no indoor activity that involves playing wind instruments. The 2 include all woodwind and brass instruments, as well as recorders or any other instrument where the sound is produced by blowing into the instrument. And no vocal singing indoors is allowed. Outdoor activities will have appropriate social distancing measures taken. In phase 3, activity that involves playing wind instruments to include all woodwind brass instruments, as well as recorders or any other instrument where sound is produced by blowing into the instrument, may occur indoors or outdoors with appropriate physical distancing measures taken. Vocal singing activities may occur indoors or outdoors, only with appropriate social distancing measures taken. So that's phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so basically what, everybody's saying, I'm just telling you, that's what the guidelines say.
That's what it's, I interpret it that way too, Rebecca. Just like you said.
So I'm interpreting it to say that phase 3 is the phase that they're going to really allow the indoors or outdoors thing. For phase 2, they're basically saying it's a no-go.
No-go indoors.
What I understand with that is basically phase 2, it can't be indoors. That's how I understand it. You know, maybe I'm wrong with that, but my principal obviously didn't see it that way, because I mean, she told me she doesn't care what she's getting as long as it's outside. She's cool with it. And it's probably, here's the reality, guys, it's going to really depend on our school that we're working at. All right. And granted, you get enough parents complaining about anything, it's going to, you know, they'll probably make a bigger deal about it. But I think it's really going to depend on what school you're working at, how your principal interprets that, and, you know, what kind of pull they have. I don't, you know, that's really the way I'm seeing this work out, because just in 6 people hearing that, we've got at least 2 different interpretations. So how much worse with, like, you know, 30, 40 schools. So anyway, I don't know. That's how I took that.
I think it's going to be up to the individual principals to interpret it how they would want us to do it, almost. I mean, that's almost what I'm getting out of it too. They're going to be the final authority, the final say.
You know, unless we want to ask Hanson to clarify that statement, you know, but if we do that, then we're going to be stuck with our answer.
It's easier to ask forgiveness and permission.
I just go with the flow, people. Go with the flow.
Well, usually.
That's my typical answer, but with this case, I don't really know if that's the best answer.
I don't get into trouble. I just stay out of, see, that's why I like being back of the school. I've told Gary that before. I'm the farthest back of that school. Me, and I'm next to the fence. So I like being in the back of the
I do a
school.
lot of apologizing.
That way I stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I would normally say that I'm like that, but in this case, like when it comes to student safety, like maybe we should ask all the questions just to be sure.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I do like that idea of Music Olympics. I'm starting to really come around to that more and more right now. It's really, that was such a great idea, Pam.
I don't think Olympics was for me.
No, who did Olympics?
No,
That's a
but
good idea.
you talked about world music and you brought it up.
Oh, yeah, then you went into Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like that though, because that'd be a great way for them to still be able to do some games with it and not, have to use any type of instruments or anything. So we wouldn't have, it'd be less to sanitize and they'd still be able to have fun and do something, kind of a competition type thing.
Have you ever played Staff Wars?
I haven't. I've heard of it though.
Oh my gosh, my kids love Staff Wars. It's an iPad game, but you can buy an adapter. I have an adapter. And it's like 99 cents. But it's like Star Wars. I wish I could bring it up. And then the music notes just move across and they have to put the right letter and it gets faster and you can do just lines or just spaces for when they're learning, and then you mix them up and you could do the grand staff. You could do them separately, treble or bass. And my kids love it and they geek out about it. And so in my brain, I'm thinking about what things can I bring to the table that would be Music Olympics, but that wouldn't be the same. That might be like one of the Music Olympic games where they have to like see where their class gets. But anyway, it's an app from sorry, I didn't hear what you say. Yeah, it's Apple, I think. I don't know if you can get it on Android, but mine,
There's something on Teach Music that is it's a game of naming the notes.
Yeah.
It's interactive, but I mean, you could have a kid stand up and only you touch the board or whatever, tap the board with your.
Because it has. I don't, I get it.
Yeah. It's teachmusic.com, and it was free.
Music.com. I need to put that one.
And Staff Wars is also something that I typically put in my music lab as like an early finisher type thing. I guess if you only had a few students that did it per class, maybe you could do it. But then, as you mentioned, John, and I'm glad you said that because I do have to think through. I'm going to get real tired of sanitizing everything like 8-9 times a day or whatever because my classes are so sporadic. Kindergarten, 6th grade, whatever it is. Just thinking through some of those things. So I appreciate that.
Something I saw at the doctor's office that I thought was neat, and we could use it for whatever you need to use it for. Because, I've been thinking about pencils too. How many of my kids are going to not have a pencil? But at the doctor's office, they had a basket for used pencils and a basket for
pens, yeah.
Not used.
Pencils and pens.
Yeah, that way, when you sign in your name at the doctor's office, you use your pen and you put it back in the used section. So. I thought that was pretty smart.
That's true.
I've always had a flat and sharp thing of pencils. Anyway.
Cute.
For used.
Use humor.
Cute.
The real question is which one's used, the flat or the sharp?
Well, sharp is ready to be used, John.
Must be sharp, yeah. Flat needs to be
sharpened.
Oh, yeah, I got that. It's not bad. Nice to know. Thanks for calling it out for me there, Gary. Special ed music teacher over here.
Well, I think we're going to all need humor to get through this year.
And I think the biggest thing is like for us, we just have to continue to think of how to keep it fun because how to keep it really knowledgeable, but keep it fun. I mean, it's even harder to keep it fun than it normally is. I mean, we all love to like put some competition in it or make it a game or, you know, but also teach the material. And so I'm just trying to think of like, what are random ways I can really like ingest it into the day, because it's going to be horrible. I mean, like, you know, I can't imagine sitting in the same place all day, every day.
And are we going to be able to ask these kids to like have a folder or have a notebook for music?
I don't see why
That's
not.
a good question.
Yeah, well, I also know from experience that even though I tell my choir members they need a binder, I always end up providing binders. So,
I mean, do they need a whole binder or do they just need a piece of paper?
well, I was just saying
Like
to do the
every
journal
week.
thing, it'd be nice if they had a composition notebook, you know.
I think that's a question for your principal too.
Hmm. So you think the principal's going to have all these answers, right?
Yeah.
Mine might answer me in December.
That's what they get paid for. Got to come up with something.
Well, maybe if you made it more than just a music journal, like if you collaborated with all the other specials teachers and were like, okay, let's all together say we need a composition book, and then they can use it for all of their specials.
That's a good idea.
Then it's not you making trouble. It's like, we all need this.
Yeah.
And that's a thing too that me and other teachers, specials teachers in the past have talked about and are still talking about, like some type of collaboration as far as things that we can do so it sticks a little bit more, just because they're not in their own classes anymore. They don't have like that, I don't know, feels normal.
In our school, in our school, 4th and 5th grade, they have Chromebooks. And 6th grade's supposed to be getting them this year.
They're
Well,
all
it's true they could do that on their Chromebooks, huh?
Right, take notes. Could they take notes, and do they have a spot? I haven't really looked to see if they have a spot where they could take notes.
I would assume they do.
Just something to think about. Yeah. But
yeah.
I know I've used the Chrome Music Lab, and it's really fun for the kids. They really enjoyed that. I've used that with them before, and some of the other resources that they have with the music experiments. But I haven't seen the games yet, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I know they had those.
But it's definitely going to be a different year. We know that.
My school has put, instead of choir, mindful minutes, which is something that I've had to do in the past. It's still on my schedule. I think they're just holding the place for choir right now. So I'll probably be doing something random like subbing or something, no telling. But I don't know. Like, they haven't given me any clarification on mindful minutes, and the new music teacher's like, hey, so what's mindful minutes? I was like, well, typically we stretch and breathe and stuff. That was a voluntold situation. You know how that goes. But I don't even know how we can do that. So I guess
No
I'm
breathing.
still
No
on my
breathing
schedule, and
allowed.
they're not throwing something out there, but we'll see what I end up doing for real. So I don't know.
Yeah, make sure they still keep it in your schedule, because at Mayfield, they already took it out. And so I told her to make sure they put it back in before school starts so that she has a spot to teach choir when she can teach choir. So.
Yeah, choir's not on my schedule, but they did replace it with mindful minutes. And I think that's their placeholder for me, because I know in the past they were nervous that they'd like lose teachers if it's not in the schedule. I know it's a different year. And so, but that's how they did it in my schedule. They've already sent them out, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I will start a Google document and share it with everybody, and we'll maybe make a different tab for each different grade level or each subject. And we'll just have a list of resources and a list of lesson ideas, and whoever wants to go on it. I'll put some of the things that you guys all mentioned today, And I'll just invite everybody to share and add things as they think of things so that we have like a resource bank to go back and look for when we feel like we need something else.
Awesome.
So I'll share that.
That is
Thank you.
excellent.
Share
That is a good idea. Thank you, Alyssa.
And if you have any other music teachers, band teachers who have to teach general music type things who want access, just let me know and I'll get them added to that document as well. So just shoot me those emails and
Oh, that's
I'll
wonderful.
get that done. So cool. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, everybody. Y'all had a lot of good ideas. Things that
All
I'm-
right. Thank you,
things I'm
Alyssa.
gonna
Thank you
steal
for
from
inviting me.
BMI too. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for
y'all-
doing this, Alyssa. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Send me
seriously,
anything.
like it's great that you're
It was a
doing
good idea. I
Yeah.
enjoyed seeing y'all again.
I know, you too.
Been a while.
Yes.
Y'all let me know. Just send me an email or Facebook message.
Y'all
if
take
you need
care.
anything. See y'all later.
All right.
Bye.
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 And John, if you and Gary want to get together sometime, you know, and talk,
I got his number.
Okay.
sounds good.
Take care.
All right, John, I got yours too.
All right.
All right,
Bye.
Have a good one.
bye.